unless you're the top percentage of those rich players.
Well, yeah, you're not going to be able to play the game the way that you're supposed to be able to play the game. It's like the game is designed in a way to incentivize you to spend money. It's like, imagine if the store existed and nobody used the store. That would be a massive issue. They would obviously fix that. Like, why would there be a store if nobody used the store? So the game is designed in a way to incentivize you to use the store. So if the store didn't exist, it wouldn't be designed that way. It's common sense. New Kotaku article said people complain about Diablo Immortal are trolls and gatekeepers and that the game isn't pay to win. I actually have a positive Diablo Immortal video that I was going to watch today as well. And I'm not going to watch it right this second. It's called Stop Trolling. Free to play is better than pay to win. I thought this would be fun to watch.
No way.
You know, it's good to have different opinions out there and to have new viewpoints on the world. So we're going to do that one after this. Here we go.
You're willing to spend that money buying a game and then getting the entire game and getting a full experience. Those days are going away.
They're gone.
And like I said, even if you think it doesn't matter to you right now because you don't care about Diablo Immortal or whatever phone games are out there, it's coming your way. It's coming. Fucking wake up.
Now, if you look at this from a monetization perspective, the hook is where you put up never pay for a mobile game. So you need to break the wall first.
That's right, you break them down. That's the first thing. Yeah, you break down their barriers and you make them give you money. You get them addicted to video games and you make them give you money.
Is to break that wall. It's not to give you a really good deal on something. Just try to recognize it when you see it. Most of the time it's misleading or it's highly...
None of it is a good or a bad deal. That's what you have to understand. I'm on the move. Is that to the extent that you pay money into a microtransaction, it's a bad deal. Fundamentally. Like, on a fundamental level, it doesn't matter if you get 1 million items for fucking 1 penny, it's still a bad deal. And it's like, oh, well, this is a good deal comparatively. Comparatively to what? There are other bad deals? What the fuck do you mean? They're all bad deals. Yeah, you're buying pixels.
The habit is like
also spending, have them emotionally invest themselves and so hook the player.
Yep.
Form a habit out of them playing and also spending, have them emotionally invest themselves in the game by using deceptive practices, and then
that's what you do, right? Is you want to get people emotionally invested into the game. And that's why a lot of these pay-to-win things, like most pay-to-win in games is not really that bad, but whenever it gets bad is whenever you get to like max level or something like that, that's whenever it gets a lot worse. That's what's bad. You'd watch Grumpy's video talking about Diablo. How he spent thousands, loves the game. Oh, right, yeah, sure. Let me see here.
So they can never actually spend enough to actually complete the full game.
Yeah.
Like, you can never get the full worth out of the game for the most part. 99.9% of players. This is what the gaming industry is becoming.
Yep.
I thought we kind of agreed that games are worth anywhere from 50 cents upwards to 60, 70 US dollars. Now, games of lesser quality are somehow worth hundreds of thousands of dollars per player? What the fuck?
So let's go down.
That's right.
Takes like 5 times as long to get
That's exactly fucking right.
compared to just progressing and collecting soft currency and buying it straight off.
So games that
that's exactly right. The gotchas is the gambling. Like, that's it. That's the gambling element. That's the bad part. Everything else is whatever. And what maximum profit? Yeah, there you go. And per character per season. The reason why it works is because a lot of there is some truth to this, and I will give game developers credit in saying I do think that gamers are not willing to pay how much games cost to be developed nowadays. But the reason why, another big reason why, is because the way that games are developed is wasteful. Most of the things that gaming studios do to make games better, the players don't care about. The players don't care about having a famous voice actor for a character. They don't care about having a motion tracker to make sure that whenever somebody falls on the ground, it's exactly realistic as if they were falling on the ground in real life. Nobody really gives a shit about this except for developers and other people that care about the technology of it. This is not something that sells video games. And because of that, prices of games go up without the quality of it going up accordingly.
Gotcha mechanics, which there's a lot of them, including Diablo Immortal, are gambling. I think we all know this, right? So why aren't they labeled as gambling games? Why isn't there a strict verification process that players have to go through in order to play the game in the first place? These are not just MMOs or RPGs or whatever. They're gambling games, and it needs to be labeled as so. And it should probably also be illegal depending on which country you're playing in, such as the Netherlands and Belgium.
I think so. The reason why it's not labeled as gambling, like, this is how they get around it, is they get around it with things like Diablo Immortal, where they're not really selling you gambling. You just have to run a rift, and then you get the stuff out. So there is gameplay involved, but everybody knows that's not really true. Do you see kind of what I'm saying and how this happens? How, like, you have, it's kind of gambling, but it's not really gambling. That's how this stuff takes advantage of you, and that's how it takes control. Yeah, you buy the Rift, and it's like you still have to play the game. It's not gambling. Gambling means you might get some of your money back. I think that's one factor for sure.
Just cannot play Diablo Immortal due to loot box laws.
Yeah.
Then
second category, the more hardcore games, because we like, in-depth character systems,
of course,
a lot of social dynamics, some complexity behind the game. These are games that we play because of our passion. Most of us don't really care about the Candy Crushes because it doesn't personally affect us. But
what I think this guy doesn't understand is that he's not talking to us. The problem is that we can't talk to them. We can't talk to the average gamer that spends $20 on Candy Crush a week. We never get a chance to see them. We don't talk to them. They're not consuming gaming media. They don't care about which sweaty, hairy nerd is mad about a video game. They don't watch video game videos.
Yes.
That's the problem.
But now it is affecting us as more and more of our favorite types of games go into that 5% category that guy mentioned. Diablo franchise, for example. Diablo Immortal might be designed as a mobile game, but do you really think Diablo 4 is going to bring us back to the good old days? Games are being designed to attract us, but they are not.
They need to make money. That's the thing, is that with video games, and this is just the way that companies are run, there are people and they have their money invested in Activision Blizzard, and they want their $100 to be $130. And if their $100 is only $105, they're fucking pissed. They're like, wait a second, I thought I wanted $130. And so let's get somebody in charge here who wants to make $130. And so this is what happens. And also, it's not just publicly traded companies. I think about Smilegate. Smilegate is not a publicly traded company, but it still has plenty of pay-to-win features. Because being publicly traded just means that you're... Like, anybody can be greedy. One person can be greedy. That's it.
Designed for us. They're designed for players that will spend a lot more than the game's worth, and it's probably not in their best interest to play these games either, so they're not designed for anyone. I take that back. They're designed for, the investors or the people that are the higher-ups in the company that get to reap the benefits of the profit. Even the game devs probably aren't too happy about the game they've created. So
that's also another thing that sucks, is like, I think that's true. I think that there are a lot of game developers that are part of these larger companies that realize what's happening, and they just don't have the financial security to move away from it. Because the truth is, like, yeah, you could say, oh, well, quit your job, stop working there. Shut up. Like, these are people that are fucking, they've relocated their family to California. They have a job at Blizzard that pays them benefits. They're not going to quit over this job. Like, let's be honest, over this. Like, Game Dev can confirm, yeah, almost all game devs don't agree with this. I would assume so. There are probably very few game developers and game designers that are thinking, how can I get that money out of them? Ooh, how can I get that money out of them? And the reason why they're not game developers is because they're the executives that run the company. Okay? So yeah, they're not the ones that make the games in the first place. It's always the executives. These are top-down decisions. The people that, like, their name, like Ian and, like the people that work on WoW, etc., they don't give a fuck about this shit. They don't care. They just want to make the game good.
clearly games are not being designed for gamers or regular game devs anymore. We're out of the picture. Wolfhard, you don't have to play the game. Nobody's forcing you to play it or spend any money. Idiot, wake the fuck up. The whole gaming industry is turning into this model of gaming. There's still some left.
This is like, you know what it reminds me of? It's like the people that like I believe, by the way, I know this might upset some people, I believe in climate change, okay? I think climate change is true. You light a cigarette in a house smells bad. You have pollution in a city's bad. You put a bunch of, you put food coloring in the water changes color. Logically, you can extrapolate that to it affecting the whole world. But there's whole areas in China that like living there is like smoking 2 packs of cigarette a day. Like this is not unreasonable to expect that this is probably an outcome. So these are the people, yeah, so it's just common sense. It's got, brother, nope, brother, nope, well, we gonna drive it, Yeah, sure. All I'm saying is this. I believe in this completely, okay? It was one of the reasons, I'm not going to get political, right? But it's one of the reasons, the main reason why I want to vote for Bernie Sanders is because he said the biggest threat facing us right now is climate change. Not some bullshit socio-political Republicans versus Democrat garbage, but actual fucking climate change. I completely agree. Aqua Blue Cheat with the 50 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. And anyways, so it's like whenever I hear this and people are talking about climate change, and then some guy's like, what you mean about that climate change? You talk about that fake science shit? What you mean, bro? This was cold yesterday. It was cold yesterday. What do you mean? Some fucking global? It was literally yesterday. What's this guy thinking about? Who this guy talking to? What is this?
Zero casualties.
Like, yeah, it was cold yesterday, and that's how they think.
Oh, I'm patient.
To cherish those companies. Shout out to Larian Studios with Baldur's Gate 3. Very freaking excited. But the whole industry is heading that way. We already see it with MMOs over the past 10 years or so, and it's starting to go into other genres, so stop saying that.
Hot state.
And when they see what mode they want your brain to be in when they try to have you purchase something. In this case, they're saying that they want your brain to be fast thinking, and how companies can do this is they can offer a product that a player knows will be of immediate use to them. So not a product that they have to, think about and analyze, something that can be immediately useful. Think about this stuff while you guys are playing games, even games that you respect and still think that are good, that have cash shops. Think about this when they pop up in front of you. We ought to be able to recognize these things. I think awareness could go a long way, I guess, somehow possibly making sense.
I think that awareness is not going to do a fucking thing. Because the people that get taken advantage of, hey, how many of you guys know, did anybody here know that the lottery, you're probably not going to win? Like, there's like a really small chance that you're not going to win. Like, I'm talking about like a 0.00, going on, right? Yeah, you're probably not going to win. It's not a 50-50. I'm sorry, it's not. And so anyway, but we all know this, right? Of course, common sense. But you go down to the fucking 7-Eleven, and you're seeing people scratching on, oh, I'm gonna be a winner! Oh my God, I got $23. Here's 50 more. Give me 5. And that's what they do. It's because you're not, like, the audience of you, like my audience, these are not people that are getting taken advantage of. We're not the ones that are getting fucked. It's people that don't watch these videos.
Clear example of this in Diablo Immortal is right here. This player finished the story mission, and then for 99 cents they can get more loot. Very quick and easy to understand. You don't have to analyze instantly. You're getting more loot. It's going to benefit you right.
And keep in mind, guys, Diablo Immortal is a popular game with over 5 million downloads on the Google Play Store.
Careful, Commander. Single target on the
Lost version. This is, people are much more attached to the stuff they have than an equal amount of things that they can gain. In games, you can apply this by giving people stuff that is in their pocket, and then threatening to take it away unless they pay up.
Keep an eye out for it.
Office and scarcity plays into the loss aversion. If they get away from you, they are scarce, they go away. This is a brilliant way to get more.
Now, obviously, these tactics and tricks have been used by industries around the globe for a very long time.
Of course.
But in the gaming industry, it's still...
These are basic sales techniques. See, like, a lot of people are not very good at detecting basic sales techniques. And I can actually, like, for example, there's a lot of ways that you can actually scam people. And you can do it right in front of them, and they will literally let it happen. They will actually let it happen. It sounds crazy, but like it's a certain level of manipulation where people think that they're in control, but they're actually not, right? The Twitch subs, yeah, it's the same as like talking about Twitch subs and shit like that. And then if you do that, you get everybody to subscribe. And like you see this all the time, right? People, it happens, and there's a lot of people that do this. For example, well, what do you mean, for example? We know what the example is, don't we? I just used it. It's that simple. They started sponsoring smaller streamers to promote the game. Yeah, and that's what it is. Happens constantly. Yeah, Twitch Prime stuff, exactly. Twitch Prime is free, to be fair.
Relatively new in the scope
It's not
of
really the
things.
same thing
Now,
as, like, taking
the problem
money,
that I
but
have
yeah.
with the scarcity trick here is that the scarcity is being designed around the cash shop. It's not being designed to make the game better. It
Well,
ends
the
up
scarcity is artificial. It's their game, their god. So if there's any scarcity in the game, it's because they programmed it like that. So if you ever think like, oh, well, it's because there's not that many of these. Yeah, well, why aren't there that many of them? Well, it's because it's programmed that way. Yeah, it's put there on purpose that way. It's common sense.
More my freaking...
Capitalism only cares about profit. Greed only cares about profit. It's greed. You get rid of capitalism, you'll still have this. This was happening whenever Grug and Ugg were collecting rocks. Whenever there was like, 35 shiny rocks, Grug and Ugg were trying to pick up rocks and put them behind them so the other guy didn't see the rock whenever they were dividing out how many rocks they had.
Understood, Commander.
This literally is as old as humanity.
Tell General Solo this
It doesn't matter.
becoming a battle of the cash shop. Who can spend the most, the quickest? And why is that fun? Well, for the majority of gamers, I don't think that is fun. Is it?
It's funny. It's fun for a lot of people because it's guys that like throwing their money around. You guys see this, like, I've never been to a strip club, but my understanding is guys do this at strip clubs. There are people who, like, donate ridiculous amounts to streamers as well. These are people who want to, these are conspicuous spenders. People that like being known as a person that has a lot of money. Oh, like, am I wrong about this? Like, yeah, am I rich? Yeah, exactly, it's fucking rich. Yeah, there you fucking go. And don't go to strip clubs are the worst? I don't, okay? Don't worry about it. So what I'm saying here is that, like, a lot of the people, here's the worst thing, is that a lot of the people that care about being perceived as being wealthy are not wealthy. These are people that don't have a lot of money, and they're donating, like, $10,000, or they're spending $10,000 on a mobile game, and they don't have that money. But they want to be that rich. They want to be able to afford that, so they do it, and they get fucked over because of it.
Perfect. Let's take them out.
Anchoring is fun. Anchoring means that when we don't know the price of stuff.
That man said it's fun. It's also highly deceptive. So when you're playing games with cash shops, just try to recognize that that first price that they showed to you was a deceptive price. It's not actually.
I think that any sort of a cash shop item, so I think cash shop item values should function on the same way as dividing by zero. It doesn't matter if it's $1, a cent, or $1 million. Divide it by zero, it's zero. Doesn't matter. Anything that sells a function in the game should not be supported by a player. No. Wait, what are the question marks here? Oh, you okay, multiplied by zero. Sorry, multiplied by zero. Yeah, multiplied by zero, that's fine. I was getting confused. Obviously, I've been talking a lot, and whatever. Yeah, multiply it by zero. So it should be multiplied against zero. So if it's $1 or it's a fucking $100 or anything, it's still zero. Any function that the game tries to sell to you is a deliberate bad design of the game that they are selling you a solution for. Do you see what I'm saying here? Yeah, do you see kind of what I'm saying here? Does this make sense? Yeah, well, let's see here. Absolutely, like WoW subs. Well, WoW subs, you pay to play the game. That's different. Obviously, it's clearly like paying to play a game is very different than paying for a function inside of a game.
Actually worth that. In most video games, it's not worth the discount either, but you guys get what I'm saying. An example of this is when you go to a store and you pick up an item and you look at the tag and it says $79.99, but below that there's a sticker that says $19.99.
They do this all the time.
Holy shit, that's way lower right now. But in reality, it was never worth $79.99 in the first place. They just put that there so they could play some mind tricks on you.
Social proof.
Yeah, they have that shit all the time. Like, that's all over the place. And, like, Kohl's, JCPenney, this kind of stuff, it's very popular. But that's...
Never tell people the truth. Never. It's poison for your video game. Just remember that. It's poison. I talked a little bit about pegging in my most recent Diablo video, and for those of you that are unfamiliar, pegging is when you tie one currency to another currency. So
I thought
in this
pegging
case,
was something
it's
else.
tying your IRL money to fictional in-game currency. Now, there's several reasons why a game would want to do this.
Yeah, I
You have
thought
a
it was
cash
something
out.
else.
The first one is that it's a little bit easier on the person buying something to use the fictional currency to buy something as opposed to directly buying things with their own money. There's a little bit of a psychological effect that doesn't make you feel as bad when you use that fictional currency.
Well, yeah, you create the degree of separation. I think that's obvious. There's a lot of companies that do that. It's very well documented at this point. Everybody knows about it.
Another reason is a lot of games will have multiple in-game currencies, and I know that Asmongold recently reacted to my Diablo Immoral video, and Asmon, if for some reason you watch this, I appreciate the exposure. And also thank you to all of you that came over from Asmongold's Twitch or YouTube. I think I got like 700 to 1,000 subscriber boost the last couple days, more than I typically get, getting really close to 100K subscribers, so thank you guys very much for that.
Keep making more videos about this bullshit. I'll keep watching it. Everybody will. Like, we need more people talking about this. The reason why we need more people to talk about it is because I think that there are gamers, like, it's not entirely...
Look to the sky, Hask. It's not
like, you need a lot of people to really make a change happen. And I think the more that people try to expose this stuff, the better it is in the long term. But the only difference really is that, so like I say exposing it and making videos won't really make a difference. It won't. I don't think exposing it should be the goal. Exposing it should be the goal to make people realize that it's bad for you to move towards the real goal, which is having legislation against it in the first place. So it's kind of like, all I'm saying is you need to take it one step farther.
Oh, wow.
Does that make sense? Link video? I will at the end.
Asmon talks a lot about the multiple currencies and how it can get really confusing and people end up overspending, etc. Now, another reason for pegging is that they can make a lot of in-game items almost impossible to purchase for the
I find it to be very funny that they use the word pegging to describe this.
Thank you, Agent Miko.
It's very accurate.
We'll take care of them.
value that they want them for. So in Diablo, cosmetic skins cost 1,000 eternal orbs, but there's no option to buy 1,000 eternal orbs. You either have to overspend or underspend, and you end up with leftover orbs, which has a psychological effect of you not wanting to waste those. So you buy more, and then you're still left over with some.
You've always got a little bit more.
It's just, you guys get what I'm saying with this. It's just, it's a big psychological tactic that they're using. And then this guy at this conference was talking about how
it's crazy how people just let this happen too. Just when politicians get involved, to somehow fuck up gaming industry even more.
Literal neutralized.
Oh yeah, no, it's a Val orb.
Yeah,
no, you're definitely right. It's absolutely a Val orb. Yeah, but the difference is that, like, if you people control you because they control you in the what? Okay, all right. People might not play PoE. A Val orb is like it can corrupt an item. And it can corrupt an item and make it really powerful, like give it like an extra socket or like a different type of socket. It can give it like extra damage or like, you know, +2 to like gem level, which is huge in the game. Or it can delete the item. It is a massive fucking gamble. It's basically a gambling orb. It's an unpredictable result, exactly. And yeah, it's absolutely a Val orb. But people control you because they know that you're too afraid to take a nuclear option that can have a positive or negative effect. For me, I'm always going to take a nuclear option because people control you if you won't. Never be afraid to lose whatever you can to get what you want. Yeah, always do that. Because if you can't, then people will just slowly edge shit away from you. Go all in, yeah, all in.
Allows the game to broadcast when players buy things, because I'm not sure if you're allowed to broadcast if a player spends like $79.99 US, but they can broadcast that a player is spending gems or eternal orbs and stuff like that.
Availability means that the stuff we hear a lot about is the stuff we judge as likely to happen. Every time a clan member gets one of the rare things, you should broadcast it to all of the others, like your friend.
They do this in Lost Ark video.
And they got this little
and
rare
they do it in
legendary
WoW
thing.
now too.
Then they will judge it more.
So what he's saying here is, for example, if there's something that's super rare in a video game, if somebody achieves that, you want to broadcast it to as many players as possible that a player received that item, because psychologically that makes everybody else want to now try for that item, even if they have a 0.0000001% chance of getting it. So if you don't...
Oh no, well, it's also like the spectacle of an extreme rarity of something is just compelling to people. They're like, holy fuck, this never happened? Really? Wow, that's really cool. That's it, yes, Lost Ark announced tones, exactly, they do. Just like the lottery. And yeah, people like seeing it. Like, a lot of my popular videos, right? Asmongold getting like a drop of X or Y or Z thing, right? Yeah, people love that.
Broadcast it to everybody.
Yeah, Trainwreck's biggest clips are whenever he wins money. It's not whenever he does a spin and it's like, oh, you got $2,000, you spent $1,500. No, it's whenever you get 22 million.
Won't feel like they want to even go for it, but the minute that you tell everybody that somebody else got it, it has a psychological effect and gets people to start gambling.
Maybe I
understand that these practices are used in our everyday lives. Everywhere that we go, we see stuff like this all the time. The problem is that it's now a big part of the gaming industry, and it's only going to get bigger unless we find a way to do something, and this is ruining video games, in my opinion. This is not why we play video games. The whole industry is shifting towards this.
Yes.
We're not going to have quality video games anymore.